For the first time since their respective victories at the Revolution Rumble, the new undisputed British Cruiserweight and British Tag Team Champions were both in attendance live in Coventry this past Sunday as the road to Wembley gathered pace here in Revolution Pro Wrestling. A stacked card beginning with the contenders Elvin Narayan and Isaac Murray taking on the top-tier team of Josh Holley and James Ellis. Despite a spirited effort, as always, from the young contenders, the pinfall on Narayan securing the victory, top tier, continuing to stake their claim to being right near the top of the tag team division here in RevPro. Next up, a rematch from the previous week's Bash at the Bay. Man like Darius secured a win in Morecambe against the East End Butcher, the former two-time undisputed British heavyweight champion Shah Samuels. And Samuels, by whatever means necessary, determined to ensure that it wouldn't be 2 losses in 2 weeks against the Lyrical Dragon. In the end, Samuels cheating to secure a pinfall win over Darius, and the match ended much like it started, with a brawl between the two. It felt like nothing whatsoever had been settled between Darius and Samuels by the end of this match in Coventry. Well, speaking of feuds that needed settling, up next, Amira Blair taking on Sky Smithson in a rivalry that has been brewing since last Christmas. Referee Chris Hatch was knocked out early in this one and the action spilled to the outside. They ended up on the stage. Smithson had a steel chair in hand and used it to do severe damage to Amira, wrapping the chair around her head and neck, then stamping on it. It seemed like the match was going to be over and Amira was going to need to be helped out of the building, but she was not done. Fighting her way back to the ring, somehow battling back into the match against Smithson, and moments later, seemingly from nowhere, hitting a spear to secure the 1-2-3. A highly emotional Amira Blair afterwards, explaining to the live fans in the HMV Empire just how important this victory was to her.
I have one simple mantra that I live by. It's in a world you can be anything, be it all. And I just proved it tonight to Sky Smithson or anybody that's ever said the term that I'm just Michael's bitch. That I am more than that. I am pretty psycho. I am undeniable. And I'm Amira Blair.
Coming into Coventry was the first time since the Revolution Rumble that we were going to get sight of the new undisputed British Tag Team Champions, Liam and Leon Slater, the Slater Dojo. They were in 6-man tag team action this past Sunday, alongside Slater Dojo junior member HMD, taking on the team that the Dojo defeated for the tag team titles, the Young Guns, alongside Tom Felwell. There was no time for any dissent within either camp, as this one took place at a lightning pace, and a match that concluded with a pinfall win for Slater Dojo's HMD over Ethan Allen of the Young Guns. The Slater Dojo seeming to be very much on the same page as they walked out with an impressive victory.
We make decisions as a team, and Liam Slater amongst every bit of scouting you do. You seem to forget about one more thing. So Slater Dojo, we want you in a 2 out of 3 falls match. And we want it in your own home. We want it in Bradford.
And for the first time since his title victory in Doncaster, the new undisputed British Cruiserweight champion, Leighton Buzzard, making an appearance. The man he controversially defeated for that title, Joe Lando, was not with us in Coventry, but his CPF tag team partner, Maverick Mayhew, certainly was. Mayhew looking for revenge on Lando's behalf, but the ruthless and, let's face it, deeply unpleasant side of Leighton Buzzard that has emerged as of late was on display again, and much like how he choked out Lando at the Revolution Rumble, putting Mayhew to sleep and once again asserting his dominance over the Cruiserweight division. The undisputed British heavyweight champion Jay Joshua may have been reeling coming into Coventry after suffering a pinfall defeat at Bash at the Bay at the hands of Michael Oku in that Revolution Gauntlet match. In Coventry, Joshua was in non-title action against Thomas Shire of Cowboy Way, and even without the title on the line, this proved to be another heavyweight war, just as we've seen before on multiple occasions. Jay Joshua able to outlast his opponent, the Pile Driver, picking up the victory for Jay Joshua. Joshua, though, had something to say after the match.
Michael Oku, if you wanted it, all you had to do was ask, bro. No more excuses, no more shenanigans, and no more Connor Mills. Next week, Portchester Hall, Jay Joshua versus Michael Oku for the undisputed British Heavyweight Championship. Say yes.
One rivalry that started as strictly business but has become increasingly personal as of late is that between Kanji and Rio. Rio, if you remember, got a roll-up pinfall victory over Kanji at Epic Encounter, but Kanji didn't break contact after the 3 count was registered, instead holding onto an armbar for a little too long from Rio's perspective. Rio got a measure of payback at the Revolution Rumble, eliminating Kanji. There was a real war of words between the two afterwards as well, so things were decidedly more heated when they went one-on-one for the second time this year. But fascinatingly, in the closing moments, a real role reversal. This time, it was Kanji who rolled up Rio to secure the victory. It was Rio who held on to the arm, snapping that arm of Kanji backwards. But unlike in Kanji's case at Epic Encounter, where it seemed like it may have been accidental, there was no question mark whatsoever here that Rio did it on purpose. So if the hope was that a match between these two in Coventry would have settled their differences, well, it's done anything but that. One win each in singles competition against each other as of late, but now more bad blood than ever between Kanji and Rio. Our main event in Coventry saw two men who have both come very, very close already in 2026 to becoming the undisputed British heavyweight champion going head-to-head. One called Manders, who almost won the title back in March against JJ Gale, who narrowly lost to Jay Joshua at the Revolution Rumble 2 weeks prior. And in many ways, this match between Gale and Manders mirrored that of the one between Gale and Joshua in the sense that JJ Gale just simply would not stay down. And an increasingly frustrated Manders in the end with a flurry of offense, multiple lariats, finally enough to just keep JJ Gale down for the 3 count. After the match, Manders offered a handshake to Gale. Gale accepted, but unfortunately it was a trap. Thomas Shire joining Manders in a beatdown of Gale as the nasty side of Cowboy Way that we saw last time we were in Coventry came to the fore once again.
We, the Cowboy Way, we're going to take some names and whip some ass, and that first one on the list is Eddie Kingston.
Whoa! By the time you're watching this, that match may well have been confirmed, as may the match between Jay Joshua and Michael Oku for the undisputed British Heavyweight Championship. It promises to be an unforgettable afternoon of action in England's capital city, live in London. In the meantime, I've been Dave Bradshaw, and this has been your RevPro Recap.